First thing you're going to be getting on your test on next Monday or Tuesday is a solving linear equations. Linear equations only have one answer. You see the way there's only one letter in it. So it's not like simultaneous equations where you have an x and a y. So I need to know what to do with this first. Yeah, make sure they're all have a common denominator. So just put that a 2 there, a 2 here. And then on the other side put a 2 here and a 2 there. And then just multiply it out. Alright? So you're going to get 6x minus 2 over 4 equals x over 4 plus 18 over 4. Okay. And 6x take away 2 equals x plus 18. Bring it all over one side. Oh yeah, the reason I'm allowed to get rid of the denominators is when it's a solved question and you have the same denominator on both sides, the denominator doesn't affect anything. So, for example, if I said x over 4 equals 3 over 4, you could just say, well, look, the 4's don't matter, it's just x equals 3. But if I had x over 4 equals 3 over 5, you'd be like, well, I can't cross off the 4 and the 5 because they're not the same. So I'd have to put a common denominator instead. So that's why you're allowed to cross them off. Then all you're going to do next is bring over the x from the right to the left and the minus 2 from left to right. So you're going to get 6x take away x equals 18 plus 2. You're going to get 5x equals 20. Then x equals 4. Alright. So next question is a simultaneous equation. The reason why we know it's a simultaneous equation is it has two letters, x and y, and there's two different equations. So there's a yellow equation, and then we have our blue equation. So there's two different equations we got to work with. Now, from what we know traditionally from simultaneous equations is we're meant to have, like, let's say 5x, x at the start, y after it, an equal sign after that, and then a number over the other side. So that's what we're looking for here. So anybody have a suggestion on how to make the yellow one look more like that? Move the minus 8 over, and you get your 2x plus your 3y equals 8. Everybody cool with that? We're going to try the same trick here. You're going to bring the minus 1 over the other side. But there's an additional problem with the second one. Can anybody tell me what the additional problem is? So anybody, what can we do with the fraction situation? Yeah, lowest common denominator is 2. So 2 on the bottom, 2 on top, 2 on the bottom, 2 on top. So for those of you that missed that, we had 3x over 2 plus y equals 1. We said the 2 was a problem. So then we multiplied the y top and bottom by 2. Then we multiplied the 1 top and bottom by 2. What this essentially does is it gets rid of the denominators. And we're going to be left with 3x plus 2y equals 2. We're at the stage where we're trying to get rid of one of the letters. So what we can do here, guys, is we can just choose to get rid of the y's. So you look at 3y and 6y very carefully, and you go, okay, what number would 3y and 2y actually divide into? 6. So we need to turn both of them into 6's. However, we need to turn one of them into a plus 6 and the other one into a minus 6. So we decided that we're going to turn the top one multiply by plus 2. The bottom one we're going to multiply by minus 3. And what we're going to get is 4x plus 6y equals 16. Underneath we're going to get minus 9x minus 6y equals minus 6. We're going to add downwards like so. And when we add downwards we're going to get a 10 here. Minus 5x there. Multiply both sides by minus. Divide by 2. Actually, divide by 5. Minus 2, yeah. Now, with all simultaneous equations, you won't pick up marks, full marks for just like the x on, so you need to find the y as well. You have two equations at the very beginning. You have your a and your b. Pick one of them. So we chose B. Could choose A just as easily.
Change the x for 2 instead.
Change the x for a minus 2. And figure out what the y value has to be. So 3 times minus 2
Minus 6
plus 2y. Bring the minus 6 over to your side.
plus 6.
2y equals 2 plus 6.
8.
2y equals 8.
And y equals 4.
Y equals 4. Okay. Do another type of simultaneous equation. The next type of simultaneous equation looks different than the one we previously did. The ones we previously did was x plus 5y, let's say, equals 20. And 2x minus 3y equals, I don't know, 14. You can see that there's no y squareds or x squareds, is there? Now, because of the presence of the x squared and y squared, you're going to have to use what's called a substitution method rather than the method you did in the last question. So the method you did in the last question isn't going to work for you. Okay, so here's what you do instead. You get you get one letter on its own in the first equation. So you have a blue equation and you have a yellow equation. Using the blue equation, get one letter on its own and then substitute that into the yellow equation. We'll see how we do. Okay, so what letter would you want on your own? There is no wrong choice. X. So x equals, so this arrow signifying that the y is going from the left side of the equals to the right side of the equals. So 7 take away y. Okay, what's the next step? In the yellow equation, which one are you going to get rid of, x or y? You're actually going to get rid of x. The reason why you're getting rid of x is the letter that's on its own. So you know that you can substitute x for 7 minus y. If that makes any sense. Okay. Now, biggest mistake we have here is the 7 minus y to be squared. Most people forget it means 7 minus y multiplied by 7 minus y. Just the other y squared. You can bring over the 29 to the left and it equals 0. Now what next, guys? 49, yeah? 49 minus 7y. Minus 7y. Then y squared plus y squared minus 29. A lot of people, once they get the new y squared, they tend to forget the old y squared. See, that's the old y squared is in yellow, and it's still here. Some people drop it when the other one appears. Don't make sure you don't do that. Okay. So, what's the next part you think, Christian?
At the 7 y's.
At the y squareds first. So what you get? 2y squared. Minus 7y minus another 7y. Yeah. Nearly. It's I owe you 7 quid, and then I owe you another 7 quid. So I currently owe you 14 quid. Okay. Then 49 take away 29. 20. Alright. Now, I'm going to do this 2 ways for you. Okay? 2 different ways of doing this, and we're going to be practicing this a lot in class today. There's what's called the minus b formula, which is something people have learned in the last week or so. Were you in the last class we did the minus b formula? I don't think so. Yeah, so you're going to have to get to know that. The other way is the reference number. Minus b formula works for everything. Reference number doesn't. Okay? So we're going to try the reference number. So you get the first number and the last number, and what you do? What you do with the 2 and the 20? You get plus 40. Then you look at the middle number. And you go 2 numbers that multiply to give me 40, but add to give me minus 14. And yeah, both positive or both negative? Both negative. There you go. Next step, you expand it and you say it's 2y squared minus 10y minus 4y plus 20, isn't it? Now what next? What can you take out the first 2?
2, 1.
Yeah. Into?
y,
Yeah.
5,
Minus 5, yeah. Then after that?
4,
Yeah, into?
y, 5,
Okay. Then after that? 2y minus 4 into? Y minus 5 equals 0. And after that? Y minus 5 equals 0, y equals 5. Or 2y minus 4 equals 0, 2y equals 4, y equals 2. Okay, just pause it there. Now, there's a second method for getting these two answers out. The second method is the minus b formula. Okay, so the minus b formula is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, the deal with the minus b formula is that you leave out the letters, so there's no letters when you're working it out. So you can actually have an empty equation. Okay, so what I do with my calculator is I'd go across and I'd press the fraction button straight away. So press that fraction button. You can't do plus or minus. Do you see the way every quadratic equation has two answers? Yeah? Every quadratic equation has two answers. So what we're going to do is one of them is the plus answer and the other one is the minus answer. For the time being, we're just going to go with the plus answer. So we're just going to put plus in, square root, and then we're just going to put in our empty brackets with nothing in them. Everybody see what I did there? Bracket squared. So press bracket. Bracket squared. Minus 4 times, open a bracket, open another bracket. Okay, then press down, and then you can get to the 2. 2, open bracket, open bracket. Oh, sorry, just one bracket on the 2, on the bottom. Everybody roughly have that done? You have it done? Okay. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to figure out what A, B, and C are. Now, here's the tricky part, right? A is whichever number comes in front of the squared part of the equation. So A is always the first number. So what is that? So just anywhere A should have been, put in a 2. B is the number that comes in front of the letter on its own. It's either an X or a Y. So what's B, do you think? Minus 14, okay? Now, there is a problem. See this B here? That's not a plus B. That's a minus B. So, if B is minus 14, what do you think minus B is? 14 on the money, okay? And then finally after that, the C value. C value is the one that comes last. So I think the C value is 20. Okay? You're going to take out your calculator, put all these numbers in, and see how you get on. If you get it right, you should get an answer of what? What did we get when we did it the other way? We got 2 and 5, didn't we? Christian, have a look at your brackets. I think there's something wrong with one of your brackets.
It was this squared, it wasn't squared, it was 2.
I got you. And you got it? What answer am I expecting?
5.
There's 2 answers, isn't there? 5 and 2. So I'm expecting an answer of 5 or 2. So what do you reckon we're going to get? First one's 5. No bother. Now, to get the other answer, keep going backwards until you change it to a minus. It's plus 2 on my calculator. Okay. Anybody have any questions about although this question looks huge, okay? The whole point of this question was I either have to do it the first way and not do it the second way. So in one case I'll just do the left side, I won't do the right side, or somebody else might come along and they'll do the right sides, they'll do the right side but not the left sides. So does everybody get that you're not going to be doing both ways in the one exam? You're just going to be choosing one of them and you're going to be working with it. Now, there is a catch at the end. You know your two y values. You know your two y values are y equals 2 and y equals 5. Okay, that's no bother. Y equals 2 and 5. But if you read the starting question, how many different letters did we have?
4, but not two different.
Yeah, we had x and y. But if we know y equals 2, what does that mean x is?
5.
So when y equals 2, x has to equal 5. That's no bother. And then go one more time. If y equals 5, then x equals 2. That's pretty handy, isn't it? You just sub it back in the front. So y equals 5, x equals 2. And you're going to be asked something very similar to that. We good so far? Any questions on that?
No.
Okay. Now, one thing we're going to introduce you to is this earlier on. Right? I want to show you two ways of doing this. Okay? And before we do that, I'm going to show you this here. Does everybody remember when I'd ask you to? Does everybody remember when I'd ask you to? I'd give you the answer and I'd ask you to make the equation. Anybody remember that? So let me show you an example. This question here states that one of the answers is 2/3. The other answer is minus 1/5. And what it wants you to do is it wants you to remake the quadratic equation, which that's the answer for. Does anybody class remember how to do that? See the 3 on the bottom? It's divided by 3 on the right. What does it mean? What was it when it was on the left? No, divide by 3. What's the opposite of division? So when I move that 3 from right hand side to left hand side, what turns to it? No, it turns into multiply by 3. So it's 3x equals 2. This is a divide by 5 on the right. What do you think it is on the left?
Multiply.
So 5x equals minus 1. You good with that? Now, what I'm going to ask you next is this, guys. It's going to be 3x minus 2 equals 0. Because plus 2 on the right is a minus 2 on the left. And then a minus 1 on the right is a plus 1 on the left. Now we have both brackets, don't we? And what do you think you're going to do next? So you're going to have 3x minus 2 multiplied by 5x plus. Yeah, when you multiply it out, you get 15x squared. 3x, yeah. Yeah. Equals 0. Then after that, 3x into nearly 3x multiplied by what? Yeah. Plus 1. Oh wait. Whoa. Sorry, no, I'm done. Sorry. You're just I started factorizing for a minute. You're just meant to multiply them out and add them together, aren't you? 3x take away 10x. Minus 7x and minus 2. I keep forgetting we were just meant to make the equation. We weren't meant to solve it. If you get what I'm saying, you're given the answers and you're going backwards until you make the question. Now, a problem with some of you guys, I'm going to show you a way around factorizing. Some of you don't like factorizing. Hands up if you aren't. You're a bigger fan of the minus b formula than factorizing currently. Yeah, it seems to be everybody, right? So I'm going to show you a little trick around this. So, an example would be this one here. Okay? Now, it's not a solved question, is it? What's the difference between a solved question and a factorized question? Yeah. Is everybody alright that this one's a solved question and the other one is a factorized question? What? Oh, no, this one here, I don't care about that. It's what's underneath it. This is a solved question and this is a factorized question. Okay? Now what I'm going to show you the differences. This is the key point I want to make today, is that there's two ways of doing this. The first way of doing the factorized question is to do the reference number, which some of you don't particularly like. 2 times 5?
10.
10. Two numbers that multiply to give me 10, but add to give me minus 11.
1, 10.
Minus 1 and minus 10, yeah? Then expand it. And then what? 2x into? Christian wants me to take out 2x?
Yeah.
X.
10. Or minus 5.
And then the other one has to be x minus 5 as well.
You put something outside it, I know.
Minus 1. You get 2x minus 1. And?
X minus 5.
Now guys, this is the answer for the factorized part. Yeah? And if I was solving this, what would my answer be?
Different.
Huh?
Same.
So
Different.
then you get 2x equals 2x minus 1 equals 0, 2x equals 1, x equals a half. Then x minus 5 equals 0, x equals 5. Now, I'm going to show you the reverse of this, okay? In 5 minutes. Does everybody understand that the answer to a solved question is basically x on its own? The solved answer is 2 answers. Yeah? The factorized answer is just it broken up into brackets. Everybody get that and remember that? Factorize is just 2 brackets. Solve is you mill it out. Alright? Now, well, I'm going to show you a different way. For those of you that don't want to do the reference number, in a factorized question, the reference number gives you the minus b formula gives you the answer to the solved question, not the factorized question. Would you agree with that? If I told you to factorize this, yeah, and you did the minus b formula, what answer would you be actually getting here? You'd be getting the solve answer. But what I'm going to show you guys to do is I'm going to show you how to change the solve answer into the factorized answer. So you can do the minus b formula for technically everything then. Alright? Let's find out how we're going to do it. First things first. A is 2. B is minus 11. C is 5. So get this. Minus b is 11. Plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is minus 11. Squared minus 4 times 2 times 5. All over 2 times 2. Okay guys, quickly in the calculator with this. 2 times 2 on the bottom. 4 times 2 times 5. No bother. And then minus 11 squared. And it's the plus answer first, isn't it? We tend to do the plus answer first. What you get? 5, okay? So the first answer is 5. Right, 5. Second answer? Change it to minus as Christian said. So what you get there? A half, okay? Now, what I'd be asking you guys is, how do I change the solve answer? Plus a half or minus a half? Just a half, okay? Just a half, yeah. How do I change my solve answer into the yellow answer to the right of it? How do I change a solve answer into a factorized answer? Anybody care to tell me? Move over to your side, what do we get? X minus 5 equals 0. Division of 2 on the right is what on the left? So 2x equals 1. Bring the 1 over to the other side. 2x minus 1. What you know is about both brackets now?
They both equal 0.
And they're both the same answer as the yellow one. So you can turn a solve answer into a factorized answer just by bringing the stuff back over to the other side. Okay? So that's the gist. Can I